Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is SpikeABC and today I would like to talk about the new survivor. Her name is Mikaela Reid, and honestly, this survivor, this update in general, is going to bring some very sweeping changes to the game. The meta is going to be shaken up. The totem, everything about totems is essentially well, not everything. From survivor side, it's going to be a lot different at least. From killer side, it's also going to be changing. Things are underway that cannot be undone. So the first thing that I want to talk about is just the overall design of this this survivor. I think she actually looks really cool. I think she looks different. She looks unique, a lot newer than any of the survivors we have. And her overall design is just really nice. I love the glasses. I love the hair. In her idle animations, she will actually like pull out a book and start to read from it, which is really neat. I like that quite a lot. But now we have to get into a little bit more deep into this character, which is obviously the perks that she has. Now, starting with Clairvoyance. So, Clairvoyance is essentially, once you cleanse a totem, you get the ability of having a map. So you press your active ability. If you are not holding an item, you cannot be holding an item, and it just shows you auras of things that are around you for 10 seconds. This is pretty much useless. It gets glossed over by anybody talking about this survivor, because ultimately, this is just not a good perk. This, why would you ever run this when you could just be running a map, first of all? Second of all, you're only getting 10 seconds of an aura read. I mean, it's just a waste of a perk slot. Will it get buffed? Probably not. They're probably just going to forget about this like they do with a lot of their other perks. But that's the way it is. Which brings us into the Boon Totems, the real meat and potatoes of this survivor, and the real ramifications of this update. So I'm going to start with Shadowstep because I think it's a little bit less game-breaking, but ultimately it's still a very strong perk. Essentially what Shadowstep's going to allow you to do is within the radius of the Boon Totem, which, well, I'll explain that in a second, your scratch marks are just completely hidden, and your aura is also completely hidden. So if the killer's running Barbecue, you've countered that. If the killer happens to be running Bitter Murmur, you're going to counter that. Big thing against Huntress, potentially. Most killers aren't running Bitter Murmur. But that is something to consider. Also, this perk will combo extremely well with Iron Will. And potentially Lucky Break, too. Now, you have to keep in mind that Boon Totems only work in a radius of 28 meters around the totem itself. So this isn't going to be map-wide. You're not going to always have this ability up. But you can put another Boon Totem down if the killer cleanses the original one that you placed. So there's going to be some strategy here from the survivor side of, where do I put this Boon Totem right now? If I'm working on this gen, do I want to set this up here? Or do I just not want to waste that time at all? And the answer is probably going to be, yeah, you're going to want to set up the Boon Totem if you're running them because they are extremely strong. But anyway, back to Shadowstep. It's gonna really work well with Iron Will. It's gonna work well against most killers. Will this become meta? I can't really say. I think it probably will, especially because right now there's only 2 Boon Totems. But the bigger issue is actually her third perk, which is Circle of Healing. Circle of Healing is crazy. Basically, everybody within the radius gets doubled healing speed, and they can self-care without a medkit. So this is already 2 perks for the price of 1. You get self-care, and you also get a significantly better version of Botany Knowledge. And it's even better than that. Botany Knowledge caps at 33% of a speed boost. This is 100%. This is doubled healing speed, and there is no downside to it, which is the crazy part. I think killers are 100% going to have to go out of their way to cleanse this. And that's really the issue that I'm having right now with boon perks in general, which is killers are not really going to have a choice. If they notice the boon perk is up, they're going to have to go and take it down. Which, this is one of those things I feel like nobody actually asked for. I am not a killer main. I play both sides, but when I do play killer, I don't want to have to worry about going and kicking a totem because I know that, if I don't do this, they're going to have infinite healing loops. There's already videos out on Circle of Healing being an absolute destroyer. I mean, this perk ruins a killer's chance of winning a game if it's set up in a good spot. And the other problem is, you can't really protect a perk for that long, but it's still going to waste the killer's time. So from the killer's point of view, this is not great. And even from the survivor's point of view, this is something that I think people didn't really ask for. You know, like, I haven't seen a survivor say, oh man, I really wish we had perks that we could interact with. I don't know. That's not really something that I wanted. I don't think it's something that anybody I know of wanted. I mean, if you wanted to share it, you can comment below about how this is an amazing update. But ultimately, I don't think Boon Totems are extremely healthy for the state of this game. And I say that because it really makes the killer's job a lot harder, especially for newer killers, which is, I think, something that's not getting talked about. You know, if you don't know where totem spawns are on a map, you're going to have a really, really hard time finding these totems, and you're going to be pressured into doing it because these are both very strong. Which means, you know, if you're a killer who doesn't play this game a lot, you don't play killer a lot, you're going to struggle. Even though these totems make noise, you might still struggle finding where it is. Although you're going to get a lot of clues. Like, the survivors are going to be staying near it because they're forced to. 28 meters is about the same size as a terror radius. But you might, on some maps with good totem setups, you still could potentially struggle. And like I said, just nobody really wants Boon Totems. I can't think of a person who does. So yeah, those are my thoughts on these 3 perks. I think that the meta is going to be run 3 Boon Totems, run 1 exhaustion perk. I don't think that these 2 so far have completely replaced exhaustion perks. Like, obviously, Sprint Burst, Dead Hard, we're still going to be seeing those all over the place. Iron Will is still going to be huge, and Borrowed Time as well. But I could definitely see a build like Shadowstep, Circle of Healing, Iron Will, Sprint Burst. I mean, why not? Why would you not take advantage of those perks? Because every single dull totem on the map can eventually just be translated into a Boon Totem. So you've got plenty of chances to set this up, and also plenty of chances to make the killer, you know, go after them and not actually pressure things, not actually chase your team. So this is a big deal for the meta. You know, I'm not a fortune teller. I can't say exactly what's going to happen, but if they don't touch these, which they probably will, I have a feeling that Circle of Healing at least is going to get nerfed, but that's just speculation. If they don't touch these are going to be crazy good, and I think this game's going to be going in an interesting direction with these Boon Totems. We'll have to see what else they can come up with in the future, but yeah. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, you can leave me a like and a sub. That'd be awesome. And I want to hear what you guys have to say, because really, I'd like to know what the community thinks about these Boon Totems. It's interesting, to say the least. But yeah, that's all for today, guys. Have a nice day.